Hello, my friends. This is Monday's Minutes, and I'm Tom Doherty. Well, a couple of Sundays ago, we celebrated Easter, the pinnacle of our Christian faith. We celebrated the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. He took on all of our sin, was killed, went into the grave, was raised from the dead, and as we believe in Him and accept Him as the Lord of our lives, then we can overcome death, the death of sin, and live with God forever. Well, that is the pinnacle of our faith. Everything is based on that. And yet there was action that happened after the resurrection that was important as well. Jesus then, after the resurrection, appeared to the disciples several times, including the time in John 21 that I want to talk about today. And this time particular, but all of these times, it seems that part of what he was trying to do was restore relationship and to make a call on people's lives. So we see this time in John 21 where Jesus is sitting on the beach cooking fish and warming bread, and the disciples are out on the sea and they didn't know Jesus was on the shore, and they were fishing. They didn't do any good all night long. And as they were coming back in, Jesus called out to them and said, "Children, did you catch any fish?" And they said, "No." And he said, "Well, put your net on the other side of the boat." And then, of course, they caught 153 fish in their net. Peter jumps out of the boat, swims to the shore. The rest of the disciples bring the fish up onto the shore. And then we have this breakfast scene where Jesus is serving them breakfast, fish and bread. And then Jesus begins to have this conversation with Peter. "Peter, do you love me more than these?" And Peter says, "You know everything, Lord. Yes, I love you. You know I do." And then Jesus says, "I have an assignment for you. Feed my lambs." And then a pause, and Jesus says to him, "Peter, do you love me?" "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." "Well, tend my sheep. I have an assignment for you. I have a call on your life." And then after a pause, a third time, Jesus says to Peter, "Peter, do you love me?" And Peter's exasperated. "Yes, Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." "Well, then feed my lambs. I have this assignment for you." And as we follow this conversation, it moves into a walk with Jesus. And Jesus says, "Now that we've established that you love me, and oh, by the way, I've given you some assignments here, I want you to know that there's going to be a cost to following me." Because that's really what he did. Called him into ministry and said, "Follow me." So as Jesus and Peter are walking, he tells them that there will be a time when he will be bound and led to where he doesn't want to go. And that would be, according to John's commentary, how he would die. And we know later that he died on the cross. I think for us, we miss sometimes that even when we're struggling, even when we've messed up, and we're thinking, "Oh, God must be mad at me," God has assignments for us. He's trying to reestablish relationship with us. So if you're in a time in your life where you might not have lived exactly like you think you should, and you think God might be mad at you, Jesus is calling to you, "Children, hey, do you love me?" If we have that basis, I love you, and if we have that basis where you love me, then I have work for you to do. Well, this is Monday's Minutes. I'm Tom Doherty. It's brought to you by Every Church Grows. Go out and grow the church, my friends. Jesus loves you. He's asking, do you love him? And as we say yes, he says, "Follow me. I have this assignment." Have a great week. Bye-bye.